Good morning, folks. It's your old Uncle Jason here, serving you up a hearty spiritual meal taken from chapter 5 of the book of Hebrews. Let's get into it. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in things pertaining to God, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. Who can have compassion on the ignorant, and on them that are out of the way? For that he himself also compassed with infirmity, and by reason hereof he ought, as for the people, also for himself to offer for sins. And no man taketh his honor unto himself, but he that is called of God, as was Aaron. So also Christ glorified not himself to be made a high priest, but he that is said unto him, Thou art my son, to this day I have begotten thee. As he saith also in another place, Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared. Though he were a son, yet he learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Called of God a high priest after the order of Melchizedek, of whom we have many things to say, and hard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk, and not strong meat. For every one that useth milk is unskilful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. That's talking about Christ. He is the high priest. He is our high priest, and maketh intercession on our behalf. Because without him, we would not be able to approach the throne of God. It's calling us that most of us have a desire to teach, but when we need to be taught ourselves. Essentially, what it's trying to say is that most of us are on milk, that we need to be on beefsteak in order to actually understand a lot of what's going on in here. Hence why I started this hearty spiritual meal, because we're getting into the meat of things. Now, I encourage you to ponder this meaning. Though Christ, being very God and very man, could have at any time prayed, and it would have been given to him the means to leave that situation, he stayed and endured for you and I. No greater love hath no man than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends. And Christ laid down his life for you and I. So think about that today, folks, and ponder it. Because what Christ did at the cross, he did for you and I. What Christ did at the cross, he did for all future generations and those that were there. He came to his own, and his own received him not. But because they didn't receive him, you and I are able to enter in. Because we're Gentiles, whether we'd like to believe it or not. So, I pray this word be sown on good ground. I pray that you learn something today. And while you're pondering, pray for the understanding. Ask the Lord to help your unbelief. And see what happens. So until we meet again, stay safe, stay blessed. And as always, Stay in the shadow of the Almighty. This is your old Uncle Jason signing off.